Make this video for I don't know how long. It's been a long time coming. We're having some fun today, okay? I just wanted to show you some videos that I've been laughing at for a while. Now, some of them are pretty new. Maybe you haven't seen some of these ones before. Some of them are a little bit older, and to me, they're classics. But I've got 5 videos that I want to show you, and we're going to be looking at, like, they're cringy. They're really cringy, but for me, it's kind of fun. Now, I want to be clear right before, we show some of these things and have some fun. And if you're here, hop into the chat. Let me know what you think about these videos. But I'm a cringy Christian sometimes too. All right. If you took videos, especially early on in ministry, I'm sure that I probably said some stuff that was just really, really dumb. And so if you're around me all the time, you probably would be able to find some of these kinds of videos. So I want to be clear. I'm not just like looking down on other Christians. I'm just kind of having some fun and understanding that, sometimes we could be a little cringy ourselves. So let's look at uh, the first one. Oh man, I just think it's funny. I think it's funny. I don't know who this lady is. I think it's on like old school TBN, but all right. A little fair warning. If you have kids around that are going to ask some questions, there's a couple of videos, mostly this one, that are just like, maybe you do want to come back to this. But nothing weird said. Well, yeah, I'll let you be the judge.
Your sins have to pop out somewhere. Little children have acne. Why? I can tell you why. What little boys do in the bedroom at night. It's a natural process of the fallen creature.
Exactly.
What he does in the bedroom at night.
I didn't
tie
edit
his
this.
Hands. The Catholics used to tie their hands. Tie the girls' hands. Wouldn't do it good. Tie them all you want. Because it's in their nature. It's a fallen nature what they do in the bedroom at night. Why does the acne? That's why acne's on these young people's face. That's what they do.
So she starts out with sin has to pop out somewhere. And so if these young people are sinning in the bedroom, which we all know what that means, don't need to go into detail on that. But like, that's what she's saying. If you do that, then these are the consequences, which is super funny here. But also that's like a theological thing that a lot of Christians just get really, really wrong, that there are always physical consequences for sin. And then we're always trying to find like, oh, this disease, that disease, like that's the consequence for our sin. And Michael is 100% correct. Yes. She really did say acme. So I don't know is that like the Dynamite and Looney Tunes? That's what you get. Is that what the kids are doing? I don't know. But I thought it was really funny and just a good way to get this started. So let's look at the next one. Oh, this one. Oh, I love it. What?
My mouth waters for the things of God. One taste, then to another. Now I'm standing before you, a doulos hooked on God's word.
All right, so this is a newer one that I saw going around Twitter, and I wanted to wait until I had a few of these videos kind of lined up to be able to do like a fun stream like this. But this guy, I will say this guy's talented, okay? He's really, really talented, but also like he comes out, the look of it, like you look at these people and it doesn't seem like that's the kind of sound that you're going to hear. It's like, and these ladies are in the background and they're doing like the little shake for the background dancers. But like they're all in suits, including the drummer, which the drummer is probably the best part. So stay tuned for that. But he comes out with that sound, not expecting it. And then like, it's actually like, to me, it actually sounds pretty good. Like I really enjoyed it actually. A part of this is probably going to be my new ringtone. I'm just saying. Like some of it is actually pretty good. But Hot Bible. I don't know what that means. Like, um, I don't know. Like, I grew up in a super fundamentalist world, so like there were definitely people who were talking about rock music being, you know, like leading into all kinds of sin, and there's so much satanic, demonic stuff in it. And I gotta say, like the first couple words of this kind of make me go like, ah, maybe they have a point. Like that they're like, oh, it's so over sexualized and all that kind of stuff. Hot Bible, and then like let's go back just a little bit.
For the things of God.
Guitar man.
I love
Okay.
Bible.
Hot Bible.
My mouth waters for the things of God.
This is a weird way to put it.
One taste
Like
and to another.
like all that is just like really creepy. like the song itself actually isn't that bad. I mean a little bit, but like it's okay. It's not heretical or anything like that, but it's just like, whoa. Like what are you really singing about? Like this sounds so weird. But I want to listen to the whole thing. I don't know. This might get me a copyright strike. I don't know. Like I think it's worth it. Like this song is so good.
Now I'm standing before you, a doulos hooked on God's word.
All right. Like that's pretty good.
My heart's burning on fire for God.
Okay.
Taking every breath I take in light of the return of Christ. Living each moment as if he's coming today. Keep in mind the finish line. God first.
All right. You know, not too bad.
Fame abound, so make it count.
So make it count.
God first.
You know, living in light of like your priorities as a Christian. Like the song isn't that bad. I think it's a little bit like Trumpy, you know, like America First. Like I feel like that's where he got the idea of like God first, and that's the name of the song, even though we all know it as Hot Bible.
My life
Right?
is really not my own. God paid the price for you and me. It's all his. My body, soul, and spirit, including all my talents and abilities.
And this guy has talent. I'm going to say that again and again. Like this guy, like you could tell, like this guy has a past where he was in some band and it was rad, and then, you know, got saved in whatever church this is. It's not an IFB church, which I was surprised because the dress kind of makes you think that way. But it's not that. It's some other church, and they have tons of these kinds of videos. Look it up, God First. You'll find it. But they have so many videos. This guy isn't in that many. He plays piano in a few of them, but you could tell like this was his passion project. He came up with this song, and he's like, I'm going to rock this one out, and he does.
I call, so give your all. God first.
Like just a little like
Do your love,
look at the drummer.
baby, God first.
Oh man.
Everything we do in life should be done out of love for him.
I mean like yeah, we should.
Walking at that level of commitment is exciting. Takes a lot of discipline. But what's it worth to know you've done it up the way his word says it should be done? It's a life, no compromise. God first.
Okay.
God first.
Like that little Oh. What? No! I can't. Oh, that's the worst drum solo I have ever heard in my entire life. I'm sorry if I'm like breaking the microphone by this, but oh my goodness. Like, what was with the cowbell? Like, this is Christopher Walken? Like, Oh man, like it's so weird too because like musically, like they're all like killing it. Like it's a weird song. It's a weird song, kind of a goofy song, but they're killing it. And then they go to the drummer. And I don't know what that was. Like, John Adams is a musician. Let me know what is happening here.
God first.
I love that he's really tried to sell it. He really tried to sell it with that. Yeah, like nope. You're not gonna be able to live that down. Oh man. And then he does this. I don't know. Maybe this isn't cringy. Like this is just like I kind of love it. Ooh. Like that's pretty good. Oh man. Oh, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. It goes on a little bit.
The way his word says it should be done. It's a prize. Only to the wise is God first.
God first.
So lift your eyes.
Look how joyful this guy is, though. Look at his face. He's having the time of his life. And I think the other guys are too. They're like, yes, finally. Look at him. Oh, I wish I could be that happy someday. Oh man. Is it weird? Yes. Is it also awesome? Yes. Shelby Sear says, well, can't believe I made it. Well, you did. See, I don't even know what based means. Is it not cringy? It's just based. Sure. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say things I don't know about. John Adams. Those dudes are the kind of guys I don't like playing with. They're super into their band that plays down at the local Rock and Brews, then joins your worship team and try to do solos on everything. That's what I've heard. I haven't worked with like extremely talented musicians. I'm sorry if anyone watches this, they're like offended, but never anyone who like got paid to be in a band. But yeah, it's the hot Bible part that is cringe. Yeah, it's just like the beginning starts off really like playing into all the tropes of how fundamentalists of different kinds look at rock music. And it's just like, okay. But I kind of love it. That drum solo, I'm probably going to add as my ringtone. I love it so much. And like his huge suit too. Like, oh, I want to go back. I want to go back and just like, we won't listen to it, but just look at like this big suit, this guy. He's just doing what he can, you know? I respect it. All right, let's look at the next one. Let me turn the volume up a little bit. This one's a little bit quieter. This is maybe why I will never use like a prop in a sermon, because it could go wrong so easily.
The word offense in the Greek is scandalon. And it refers to the bait of a trap. This is an old Texas rat trap. And I've smashed many a finger on this thing trying to show this message. And when you put the bait on this trigger, that trigger is called the scandalon. That's the offense. And if you reach for the offense to be offended because you are, an animal reaches for it to eat it. But a Christian reaches for the offense because he's hurt.
You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming, and still, it's just surprising when it actually happens. Guys, don't use that. Like, actually, it's not that bad of an illustration, but guys, don't use illustrations. To me, anytime a pastor brings out use illustrations, but don't use props. If you bring out a prop, I'm just Like, sure, you could look at like the Gospels and see that Jesus kind of used some props in that. He kind of pointed to things that were happening around him, but you're not Jesus, so you're not that interesting. But let's look at a couple more.
Behold.
Okay, I need some little warnings on this one. This is a classic. One, if you like Ray Comfort, fine. Like, you could like Ray Comfort, and you know, it's okay. Like, this doesn't need to ruin your love for Ray Comfort. But also, this is one of those moments that you just go like, what was this guy thinking? Like, come on. Like, there's so many people that are going to make fun of this. This is a classic clip for other reasons than what I'm going to talk about. So just know that I'm aware of that. But also, like, if you look past the obvious jokes, I think that, you know, this is still like above and beyond cringy.
Atheist's nightmare. Now, if you study a well-made banana, you'll find on the far side there are 3 ridges. On the close side, 2 ridges. If you get your hand ready to grip a banana, you'll find on the far side there are 3 grooves, on the close side 2 grooves. The banana and the hand are perfectly made one for the other. You'll find the maker of the banana, Almighty God, has made it with a non-slip surface. It has outward indicators of inward contents: green, too early; yellow, just right; black, too late. Now, if you go to the top of the banana, you'll find, as with the soda can makers, they placed a tab at the top, so God has placed a tab at the top. When you pull the tab, the contents don't squirt in your face. You'll find the wrapper, which is biodegradable, has perforations. Notice how gracefully it sits over the human hand. Notice it has a point at the top for ease of entry.
Is he selling this
just
thing?
the right shape for the human mouth. It's chewy, easy to digest, and it's even curved toward the face to make the whole process so much easier. Seriously, Kirk, the whole of creation testifies to the genius of God's creative hand.
All right, there's a lot in there. I'll just point out a few things. One, like the indicator thing. You mean like any other fruit? Like, it gives an indicator that, you know, something is ripe or not. But this is a little much. Then just the turn at the end, like, just
toward the face to make the whole process so much easier. Seriously, Kirk, the whole of creation testifies to the genius of God's creative hand.
Like, this is one of those moments where, like, someone on the worship team who maybe was supposed to, but maybe sometimes not, like, they just decide, like, I'm going to give a 3-minute sermon right now. And the pastor is like sitting there, like thinking like, okay, they're just doing like a transition. They're focused on, like, I've been in this position where I'm just focused on like the sermon. And so like they give their like mini sermon, and then, you know, it's the pastor is supposed to come up, or someone's supposed to pray for the offering or something. And they're like, don't you think so, Pastor Dean? It's like, yeah, totally. But also, like, this illustration, like, I'm sure the atheists like just go crazy with this one, because it's just like a bunch of garbage. This isn't proof in any way. Like, there's tons of proof that you can go to for like intelligent design, but not this one. Don't do this, guys. If you've done this, which some of you youth pastors might have, you know, if you've ever been a youth pastor, you know, sometimes you get really desperate to like get the attention of the kids and help them understand something. Don't fall for this. Don't be like Ray Comfort. At least not here. Last one.
You know, people do.
This is one of my favorite like evangelist little clips. I don't know what the wording is on the bottom, what that's about, but it's a little interesting.
Don't even want to know the truth. People don't want to know the truth in the Bible. If you want to turn the channel, go ahead, fool. Turn the channel.
Oh.
If you want to learn something about God, shut your mouth and listen to me for a minute. It don't matter how big or how hot shot you think you are for the executive for IBM. I mean, give me a break. What you do for a living has got nothing to do with what really matters to God. God said he chose the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. Do you know if you're an intellectual, you'll probably end up in hell for it?
Oh man, like, one, Why so intense? That's always my question with these people. Like, and there are even like really famous pastors that kind of sound like this. You know, like the easy one is what's his name? The Reformed guy. I'm forgetting his name. I don't listen to him very often, but he's one of the main guys. He cries a lot. Not John Piper. I'm not trying to make fun of him, but that happens quite a bit. You might know who he is, but like there are lots of pastors that are constantly just like, this, and this. This guy, I don't know why he's so intense, but man, like just being like, you could go or you could shut up and listen. Like maybe something every pastor has always wanted to say, but never has said, mostly because they don't want to give in to the flesh. But also they know they get in trouble if they did. But you know, he's an evangelist, so you know, he gets to do what he wants. Yes, Paul Washer is who I was thinking of. See, it's interesting how you guys just know that. But yeah, but then to be like, all right, IBM, I'm assuming that like he knows somebody that got a job at IBM and made him feel dumb for not having, I don't know, a better gig or something. That seemed really personal, really specific. But then also just like the end is so just like,
Said he chose the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. Do you know if you're an intellectual, you'll probably end up in hell for it?
If you're smart, you're probably going to hell. Like, no, that's not what that passage is talking about. It's talking about our pride that we have in our own wisdom, certainly. And I will say that if you look at the church, like there's a reason why there are lots of hurt people, people who have been through all kinds of tragedy who end up believing in Jesus. Because that's when, you know, I think it was C.S. Lewis who said that pain is the megaphone that God uses to get our attention. So something like that. But you know, there's some thought to that. But just if you're smart, if you know stuff, you're going to hell. Like, no. And that's probably what the atheists are just like, see, it's a crutch for the weak. Oh man, some of these videos. Like there's probably hundreds of other ones that you could look at and just have some fun with. But these are some of the ones that I found to be really funny, cringy, I don't know, like just a little off. But, you know, I don't know if anything beats this one right here. I'm going back to it. I just can't help it.
I love hot Bible. My mouth waters for the
It's so
things of
good.
God.
Like other than that part.
One taste,
But oh man.
then do another.
All right, I'll let that play me off. But thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you are new to the channel, I don't do streams like this very often, but I've been wanting to for a while because I really wanted to just watch this video with you guys.